45 seconds to the start. Here we go. Well, good morning in video land. Today is day 3 of Pacific Cup, and don't let the bright thing above my left shoulder fool you. That is the first time it's come out in 3 days. We had a pretty good night last night. It was yeah. Well, Andy says I did. He apparently did not have such a good night. It was blowing pretty hard, between 15 and 20, always on a beam reach. Spent the whole night with a full main and the blast reacher. The best description of our trip so far is wet, which would include everything, including us. And I'm now going to take it over to Andy, who just woke up from his first morning nap, to get his impression of the day.
Hello, neighbors. Hello, sailors. Yeah, so, well, things are holding together. The vang, and see, our vang isn't the same as it used to be. There's where it used to be there. And now we've gone to the non-solid vang, the old-style rope vang. So, note to self, check fasteners. You never have too many fasteners. And we've got a couple sails out here on the starboard rail. Because sail stacking is allowed at Pacific Cup. So, put a couple sails out there. But the sails are made out of carbon, make it difficult for the GPS to talk, so a little note to self there.
Second note to self.
There's our little hula girl leading the way there. She's the only thing that stayed dry. And we're on our first sack of beef jerky.
Almost done. Still got plenty of sunscreen left. We haven't needed that a lot. somewhat awkward that the pee bucket and the water bottles have chosen the same home, but we'll see how that works out in about another week. Here's what we got right now. Apparent wind angle of 96, a little bit lighter than it's been. There it's building back up. Right now we're in a little lull in the sunshine. Seems like when the sunshine comes out we get a little less lull. And our current course, as you can see, 210 magnetic, which has us pointed, well actually we're trying to do about 230 today. Here's a little tour of the indoors. We've been crashing out right there, just on the floor. The bunks are up higher, not as well padded, and they bounce around a lot more. And we're trying to dry some things out. Hopefully the sunshine today will last and allow us to dry some stuff out. That's about all I have to say. Well, good morning, friends and neighbors. It is, what day is it? Friday. That would make it day 5 of Pacific Cup. And it's not quite the screaming spinnaker reach that they showed in the brochure. Let me show you what we got.
It's the fundraise to Hawaii. It's the fundraise, not the shit show. That's the other one. Greetings, fellow Americans. We have been drinking coffee and eating fajitas this morning. And we're not going anywhere fast.
We're not really going anywhere slow either.
I will tell you this one thing I know. Is it could get worse. I'll take you on the water. Good. And the freighters that are passing us are going around us rather than over us. Did you get that? We got that, didn't we? Freighter.
Yeah.
And everyone's cheerful.
Yeah, so instead of trade winds, we've got, can you see the instruments there, about 2 knots of wind from the beam. But cameras always minimize wave size, so you probably looks flat as an ocean, you wonder why, or flat as a lake, you wonder why we're struggling. And basically we go over the top of each one of these swells and it rocks the boat to the side and collapses the kite. So we've gotten very used to the sound of the main slapping and the spinnaker filling briefly. It is pretty. We had a pretty good night last night until about 4 o'clock. No, when did we come on? We were at about 6. So about 5:30. We had a good night up until about 5:30. And that's when the wind kind of shut off. We actually had the jib up for about an hour and a half. And then we went back to the spinnaker. We're still making a little bit of progress. You can see rockbacks up there right now. We're doing 2 knots. We got 308, so that's a lot higher than we want to be. Oh, trash in the water. Well, there's a little roll. Some other little piece of chunk out there. So that's about it. We're enjoying coffee.
Hey, coffee.
Cups courtesy of Stephanie. Mine unfortunately did not really survive first contact, as you can see there. The very first wave that knocked the boat sent it tumbling and it broke in half, but it still contains liquids.
Well, I want to talk to you all out there in the virtual world that use scalp tonic and do not dispose of the container correctly. Here we found a nice bottle. Looks like it has been through some rough battles, for crying out. It's got some marks in it, but so we picked this out of the water and you can see these mussels growing on it. But not only are there mussels, but oh
no!
Oh, he's pissed now. Get back on, baby. Get back on.
He held on for his entire life till we started messing off with him.
And there's his little buddy right in there if you look closely. So, so we're trying to determine, do you think these 2 guys that live on here are pals? Or are they enemies? Or are they like the sheepdog and the coyote? And at 5 o'clock they knock off and climb up on top to watch the sunset together. And see you tomorrow, Sam. And they go at it again all day long. But you kind of see the mussels, they're probably thinking, what is going on? They keep opening and closing. I'm thinking sushi when I look at this for tonight. Augment our pad thai with some seafood. Or perhaps trying the medicated scalp tonic myself. There it is. That's your world.
can. That's what happened.
Two crabs out there just waiting for it. So there it is.
Hey there. So it is, what day is it? Wednesday, 17th, day 10, day 9. And it's 2 in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon. My turn to go on watch. Andy's turn to take a break. And so we'll put you on the transom there and let you get some stock footage of what it's like to sail towards Hawaii once you're out on the trade. I'm thoroughly geared up with sun protection, sun hat, lots of sunscreen because it's bright out there. Andy, armed for the squirt bottle. Watch out. Trade wind sailing. That would never happen. Alright, leave you running. Looks like the battery's going to die in a little while. Again, we seem to be having trouble getting the battery going, but you can watch for a while.
Headed down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way to North Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me.
The big ones are 46. There's a big wave coming off his left shoulder there, or his right shoulder, or my left shoulder. There's a relatively big one coming. I know it's always hard to appreciate these on camera. They probably won't show up very well on camera, but those are pretty big waves, trust me.